Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. I hope you're doing well. Well, y'all, these Somalians are a trip, and they're following the same footsteps that Latinos were following. They're really not doing anything different. They're just a different group of people pretty much saying the same thing. When I started going after the Latinos, the first thing they were doing was insisting that they were standing with us, and then they start bringing up Black Lives Matter and George Floyd. Well, the Somalians are doing the same thing. George Floyd, Black Lives Matter. And y'all, when we go back and look at those videos, we ain't hardly see a bunch of Somalians out there. Just like we didn't see a bunch of Mexicans out there. We didn't see a bunch of people from South American out there for no George Floyd, you know. And we know it's a head game. And, you got to understand. Let me tell you, immigrants, something. White people have always played these head games with us. We have long been past these head games. We know these games and we ain't falling for this crap. If we ain't falling for it from them and we've been around them for hundreds of years, what makes you think we're falling for it from your lame asses? It was not a bunch of Somalians out there marching during no damn George Floyd. Y'all might as well stop while you're getting ahead. Number two, the first thing Latinos did when ICE was coming, y'all start attacking the Black community, what you know as the Black community. And y'all are doing the same thing. It is white people saying all that crap about the Somalians. And what are y'all doing? You're coming online. Black people this, black people that. Y'all jealous of us because we did this in one generation. Yeah, but you did it with scamming. Oh, we're not all scamming. Yeah, but a big giant portion of you are. And it's found that all of you that got them big fancy homes and got those big fancy BMWs and all that you're driving, every single one of you are attached to scamming. So, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if some of you are not scamming because right now the scammers are overshadowing the ones that are not scamming. And I have learned that many of you be cheering on the scammers. I'm learning that too. And I'm also learning in your homeland, that's all y'all do. You Somalians on the east part of Africa, Somalians are known for scamming. Somalians are known as just like the Nigerians are known for scamming on the west part of Africa. And they call y'all, and I heard this from Africans. They said the Somalians are the Nigerians of the east. So even over in Africa, you Somalians are known to be the criminal class and the scammers on the east part of Africa. So when you come over here and say you passed us in one generation, yeah, but you didn't do it without criminal activity. So I now got more scamming, y'all, this time in Maine. So Somalians that live in Maine are also scamming there too. So everywhere these people live is a whole bunch of scamming. Now, and it don't stop there, y'all. The Somalians that live in the UK, guess what they're doing there? They're scamming there in the UK. Everywhere Somalians live, they're scamming. So don't come in our faces talking about what you did in a generation and you got all this criminal activity in that generation. And number two, I'm going to tell you just what we said to the Latinos when they come over here talking about you work hard and all this stuff. Take your ass home and work hard. Take your ass home and do it in a generation. Why are you crossing an ocean to do all this shit in a generation? Why can't you fix Somalia up in a generation? Why don't you do that in a generation? Why don't you make that country better in a generation? Don't come over here talking about you did something in a generation and your country still looks like crap. Go fix your country up in a generation. You know why you left there? Because that country don't have no damn money. See, you can't do all that scamming like you can over here in the West because y'all don't have no money over there. See, so if y'all get sent over there, what y'all gonna do? Be a bunch of pirates? Wait for a bunch of foreign ships to come in there and be a bunch of pirates? Y'all don't have no money. Y'all don't have opportunities like you do here. But if you can fix everything for yourself in a generation over here, why can't you fix everything in a generation for yourself in Somalia? Take your ass home. You're not impressing nobody over here. So I don't know why you keep getting on a soapbox on the internet telling us what you did in a generation. I'm not impressed. Take your ass home and do it over there in a generation. Ain't nobody thinking about you. Nobody on this planet is jealous of no damn Somalian. Y'all are a criminal class of people. Donald Trump do got right about y'all. And then I'm finding out about all this scamming y'all doing in Maine. Nobody should even want to be around y'all because the moment y'all show up, the criminal activity is going to start. Nobody should even want to be around y'all. Nobody should even want you in their town. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get started talking about some they did this in a generation. Yeah, what you do, steal? All y'all did was come here and kick up a bunch of criminal activity, and you want us to be impressed with that. Nobody is impressed with that. Nobody wants to be you. And I even watch, and white people be going over to Somalia and putting videos up insulting them, and they have nothing to say, not one word to say about it. But they'll get online, they do just what the Latinos do. But when they got something disparaging to say, they address us. And not the people that are insulting them. I watched a video this morning, y'all. This white dude, American, went over to Somalia. He put a video up. You know what he said on this video? He said over 40% of the Somali population is due to incest. I kid you not. This is what he said on this video. And he said the average IQ of the Somalian is 67, but they don't have nothing to say about that. But they want to come online and attack us. But some white guy is standing in their country saying that about them. But they have nothing to say about that. But they're coming online talking about we're slaves. We're jealous of them. Black Americans are lazy. They got everything to say about us, but this dude is standing right there in Mogadishu saying this about them. He said over 40% of their population is incest. 67, their IQ is 67. And they don't have not one disparaging thing. In fact, do you know these Somalians are making videos saying that they are Caucasian, y'all? Their phenotype is Caucasian. I promise you, Somalians, when ICE come in there, they ain't gonna give a damn about no Caucasian phenotype. They gonna get your tar black ass, board you on a plane, and get you the hell up on out of here. They ain't gonna care about no damn phenotype. but they are on video talking about their phenotype is Caucasian, and they sitting up on the video looking as black as tar. You mofos, I thought some people from the islands had some damn issues. I think you Africans actually surpassed them. I really do. I think even the island people aren't as bad as y'all are. For real. I think y'all have long passed them. So y'all, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, their phenotype is light bulb. You got that right. I like that one. Say it again. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, y'all. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you, everybody.
Y'all know how they scamming the Somalian scam in Minnesota. They have one just like that in Maine, a Somalian feed the future scam, but in Maine. This Somalian man owned this company called Gateway Community Services, and he was overcharging what is it? Maine Care. Maine Care is Medicaid in Maine for services he did not provide. From 2015 to 2022, he was running a scam. He was taking millions of dollars from overcharging Medicaid in Maine and using it to fund a military group in Somalia while he was running for office in Somalia. But unsuccessfully, he didn't win, right? So these employees out him like they're whistleblowers. So from 2019 to 2024, the company have built Maine Care for a total of $28 million. The CEO name is Abdullah Hahi. Ali, that's his last name. But yeah, similar scam to what they're doing in Minnesota with the autism, with the Medicaid, is going on in Maine. I don't know why this isn't all over the news, but yeah, it's happening. And they have a lot of other scams just like this one in Maine with Somalians, but this is just the big one. This is the big one, 28 million so far.
And oh man, these Somali pirates are getting out of hand. They went from going from ocean to ocean, sea to sea, stealing ships, jumping on cruise ships, and also committing crime. We found another corrupt Somali pirate right here. She from Maine, the House of Representative of Maine. We're gonna call her Miss Googly Eyes, or AKA Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. That's his sister. And she's asking all the taxpayers of America to help rebuild that garbage land called Somalia out there in Africa. And she wants to use our taxpayers. She wants a handout.
Policies, how can the politics in Somalia can be, resonate what we have here in the United States, the democracy that we have. How can you help us, be a better country and build back what we used to have back in long time ago? So hopefully, we will be able to help our country, our former country, Somalia.
So y'all heard it from the pirate's mouth. She says she wants the U.S. to help rebuild Somalia. Listen, man, that place been a destitute since Jesus Christ was on this earth. That place was never great. That place was ass and trash. Nobody wants to go over there. Stay y'all asses over there.
Policies, how can the politics in Somalia can be, resonate what we have here in the United States, the democracy that we have. How can you help us, be a better country and build back what we used to have back in long time ago? So hopefully, we will be able to help our country, our former country, Somalia.
We've done a lot of fascinating stories at the Main Wire, but I have to say this story about Abdullahi Ali,
the wannabe Somali warlord who was billing MaineCare $5 million a year. At the same time, he was raising money to buy arms, munitions, and fund a paramilitary group in Jubaland, Somalia. It's got to be one of my favorites. Abdullahi Ali, who is he? In 2009, Abdullahi Ali came to America, came to Maine as a Somali refugee. Over the course of the next few years, he would cut a path for himself as the poster child for Somalis in Maine. He was the ultimate refugee, a success story. He was getting himself educated. He was starting businesses. He was starting nonprofits, and he was making connections to the Democratic Party. According to records obtained by the Maine Wire, Abdullahi Ali was the CEO of Gateway Community Services LLC, and he was the head of Gateway Community Services Maine, the latter of those being a nonprofit that has received grants and various contracts from the state of Maine. Under the banner of the LLC, Abdullahi Ali provided services that were reimbursed by MaineCare. According to the documents we received, Abdullahi didn't always bill properly when he was submitting claims for reimbursement to MaineCare. An audit of transactions conducted in 2015 and 2017 found that the Gateway Community Services LLC had an overbilling rate or an error rate or a fraud rate, depending on how you look at it, of about 35%. Extrapolated over all of their billing for that period of time, it worked out to about $900,000. But apparently here in the state of Maine, if you overbill a government program, they're just going to duke you 5%. Try getting that with the IRS. So the debt was reduced to about $700,000, $800,000. This is the money that Gateway Community Services, the business run by Abdullahi Ali, a Somali American refugee who at this point had citizenship status, this is the amount of money that he owed Maine taxpayers. He owed Maine taxpayers $800,000 as of the findings of the 2019 audit. According to a second letter that the Maine Wire obtained in 2022, that debt hadn't been paid.
Let's introduce you to Somali American Abdullah Ali, who came to the U.S. from Somalia in 2009. You're looking at, obviously, the man on my right who had discovered this story. He became a U.S. citizen, started a nonprofit to help immigrants, started several businesses, including a multi-million-dollar migrant care service agency. And in 2024, he ran for president as he raised money to bankroll a militia in Somalia. Yes, you heard that right. A U.S. citizen who, according to the Maine Wire, gave an interview with Kenyan media in which he said he raised money in the U.S. to buy weapons, munitions, and supplies for paramilitary force he had hoped to lead as the president of Jubaland. Yes, that is a real state in Somalia. He was running for president in Somalia. Of course, he lost the election. We reached out to the Gateway Community Services in Maine, which Ali founded, did not hear back, ironically enough. The man who broke this report, editor-in-chief of the Maine Wire, Steve Robinson, dude, this is crazy.
You really can't make this stuff up. I mean, the guy's running a migrant services agency that bills MaineCare, which is what we call Medicaid, about $5 million a year. At the same time that he's running for president, and to be clear,
In Somalia.
that he's running to be the warlord of Jubaland. Elections in Jubaland aren't exactly like elections in America. It's, whoever has the most guns is able to certify the election. So he needed to buy a paramilitary organization and paramilitary support in order to win that election, and he lost it. But at the very same time that he was in Jubaland and Kenya trying to become a warlord in southern Somalia, he was getting no-bid contracts from the administration of Governor Janet Mills, a Democrat who has been in cahoots with Gateway Community Services from the very beginning. So if there's one thing that I would implore your listeners to understand, it's in Minnesota and in Maine, it's not just the Somali diaspora that has come over here and decided to engage in this criminal behavior. It's an industrial complex with the Democratic Party that enables and turns a blind eye to this behavior because they benefit from it through political support. And indeed, Abdullahi Ali's number two, his assistant executive director, is the former mayor of South Portland, Maine, and is currently a state representative from South Portland and a member of the Appropriations Committee, Decca Delac. One of his former employees, Yusuf, is a representative from Portland. Many Gateway Community Services alums have gone on to become involved in politics. And Governor Janet Mills created the Office of New Americans specifically to cater to the new Americans, new Mainers, illegal aliens. And the only employee of that organization is Alkas Ahmed from Sudan, who is a former employee of Gateway Community Services.
Like, I wish I had more time for this, but you're on a roll. Basically, long story short, is Maine's got a bunch of fraud with people taking money from the government and the taxpayers and then buying rocket launchers, sending them back to run for elections and president of whatever that place is. Jubaland.
And then they're also turning around and getting out the vote for Democrats in places like Lewiston, Maine and Portland, Maine.
Yeah. And when you drive into Maine, there's a big sign that says Maine, the way life should be. Not the way I see it. Steve Robinson, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, get me off this planet. All right.
Hi, John Featherston with the Maine Wire reporting from 210 Blake Street in Lewiston, Maine, where Iman Osman today was indicted on federal gun charges stemming from a drug raid that happened at this address, 210 Blake Street in Lewiston, back in October of 24. In December of 24, Mr. Osman was appointed to the school committee by the mayor of Lewiston, and he is a city councilor elect.
All right, y'all. So you saw the video. So they are scamming. This last one, this person was buying arms and illegally, and they were indicted for stealing firearms. And this was a Somalian man. All right. So all they did was they really just went to Maine and duplicated what they were doing in Minnesota. And you know what? If nothing else, this should discourage anybody from wanting to be around Somalians. You don't want a community of these people around because all they're going to ultimately do is come around and start stealing and scamming. And then they want to sit up on the internet and tell everybody they're jealous of them because they did XYZ in a generation. Yeah, well, you didn't do it without stealing and scamming and lying and scheming and and I don't know what y'all were thinking. You are not going to steal from the US government and think there's not going to be any consequences. This is not Africa. You're not going to steal from this government and think you're going to keep everything that you have. They're going to take your homes. They're going to take them cars you're driving around in. And every single business I've heard about in Minnesota, every single one I've heard on the videos, y'all got from scam money. Oh, this grocery store, Somalian ran. Oh, they got that from scam money. Oh, yeah, this car dealerships ran by Somalian scam money. I mean, do y'all have any business that you legitimately open without scam money? You don't have no idea that every single thing is going to be confiscated by the US government. Y'all ain't hardly going to keep that stuff, especially if you are the owner of those cars and homes and businesses and you are attached to scamming. This ain't no damn Africa. So, all that scamming and scheming and everything you've been doing in Maine and Minnesota and wherever the hell else y'all live and you're scamming, it's all in vain. You're going to have to cough all that stuff up and they're going to throw your ass the hell up on out of here. And since y'all bragging about what you can do in a generation, well, now it's going to be your big chance to go over to Somalia and get that place up and running in a generation. So, since you can do so much in a generation, prove that you can get your country up and running and in good shape in one generation. That's what you can do. Take your ass home. I'm not impressed with what you can do in a generation in somebody else's country. I'm not impressed. Nobody should be impressed with that. Take your ass home and do something over there in a generation. All right. So stay positive for me too. Thank you for the two channel memberships. And G Bowman Jr., thank you for the super chat. I think that's for Michelle Harvey. Perfect question at Michelle Harvey. Okay. Well, thank you for your support for my channel. So anyway, y'all, I mean, these people are a trip, but they gonna be in for a rude awakening. And all I got to say to y'all is stop addressing Black Americans online because we're not the ones deporting you out of here. We're not the ones dragging you through the mud in the media in this country. We're not the ones calling you scammers and liars and cheaters, calling your country a shithole. We're not the ones doing that, but you're not addressing them. You keep addressing us. You're doing exactly what the Latinos have done. Every time you get dragged in the mud, you keep coming online addressing us. Well, this is what I have to say. All Somalians everywhere, stop addressing us. Stop addressing us. Stop talking about how jealous we are because we're not jealous of any Somalian. Stop talking about what you did in a generation. Nobody gives a shit about what you did in a generation. Take your ass home. Your country is Somalia. Go over there and do something with that country. Go over there and do something with your life over there. If you so big and bad and can do everything, then do something over there. Become rich in your own land. And stop going from place to place over here, cheating and scamming and committing all kinds of crime, and then driving around in luxury cars and living in luxury homes off of stolen money. And you act like somebody is supposed to be impressed with that. Go home. Go home and stop addressing us. We don't have nothing to do with your situation. Take your ass home. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I hope you can come back for my next live. My next live is going to be, y'all going to get a good laugh out of this one. Melania took her behind to a children's hospital to read, and it didn't turn out so good. So if you can come back at 2:45, I'm going to go over that. If nothing else, just come for a good little laugh. So, y'all, I will see you then. Have a wonderful day, and shalom, family.